Hi everyone, Allison and Megan here. Today we're going to go through the Jane Goodall Institute of Canada's 2024-2025 Animals, People, Environment Fund microgrant application form. Our A.P.E fund can provide support up to $1,000 Canadian for projects that are youth-led, address the three intersecting crises of biodiversity loss, climate change, and environmental inequity, and are able to be completed or have the majority of the project activities completed before May 30th, 2025. We will have a link to a PDF in the application questions in the description below if you'd like to review before filling out the form. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact our team at rootsandshoots@janegoodall.ca. That's ROOTSANDSHOOTS at JANEGOODALL.ca. As long as you have cookies enabled on your browser, your progress will be saved throughout this. It should take you about 30 to 45 minutes. Applications will close Friday, October 4th, 2024 at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Time. That's 9 a.m. for us in Pacific and 1 p.m. for you in Atlantic Time. So let's fill out this form for a hypothetical project that Megan and Allison are doing. First, we need your email address. Please use the best address to reach you or your work or organizational address. Click yes after reviewing the due dates and requirements of the grant above. And if you've ever applied to A.P.E Fund before, let us know. If you have, were you successful? And if yes to the above, how many times have you or your school and organization received an A.P.E Fund grant? Put a 0 if this is your first time. If you've applied before, project codes are really helpful for us, and they'll be in the format specified depending on the year that you applied. On this page, we need to know more about the school or organization who's supporting your project. If it's just you on your own, you'll need a community partner to accept funds on your behalf, and we'll get more into that later. So we need the full and legal name and address of the organization or school. This is to make sure that funds are being sent to the right place, and we can contact you if needed after the project period. We're only able to support projects based in Canada. When entering your postal code, please put a space between the first and last digits. You can choose how we refer to your project in our reporting, either city and province or province only. We have a great interactive Roots and Shoots map that uses obscured location data to highlight the general area where projects take place. If you do not want your project to be reported on using this information, please send us an email so that we can find a solution together. Let us know how your school and organization funds its core operational costs. We need to know if you're a qualified donee. That is an organization that can issue official donation receipts for gifts that it receives from individuals and corporations, and can also receive gifts from registered charities. Follow the helpful link there to find examples on the CRA website of the type of qualified donee. We also need to know if you're a registered charity. If you're unsure, the link there takes you to a search page where you can confirm. And if you are, please put your charitable number in this next box. That's a 9-digit number, RR, and a 4-digit reference number, which is usually 0001. If you're not a registered charity, please put a dash in the box. Now we get to know you, the applicant, a bit better. Please let us know your first and last name, and if you're helping someone fill out the form, use the best person to contact during the project period. Same for email. It can be either the one used at the start of the application or the best address to reach the project lead. We'll need a phone number with no spaces, brackets, or dashes. This can either be a direct number for you or the main number for your school or organization. Next, we need the name, job title, and email address of someone at the organization or school who can legally bind it to an agreement with the Jane Goodall Institute of Canada. They will sign the Memorandum of Understanding agreement and validate your final financial report at the end of the year. This is often an administrator like a principal or a CEO or executive director, or perhaps a board member. If you're not sure who to put, please send our team an email and we'd be happy to talk it through with you. This is where we get to learn more about your project. We'll need a project name, which area your project is helping, and a general idea of the kind of project that you're doing using these categories. This is new this year, and our new communities of practice will link A.P.E Fund recipients with each other, subject matter experts, and specific resources to ensure your project is a success. If you're not sure what stream your project falls under, feel free to write your own in the other option. We know that many A.P.E Fund projects feed into larger community work, so this question is for projects that are part of a larger community project. We'd like to know a timeline and overall cost of the bigger project and how A.P.E Fund would support your goals. Now, this is the fun part where you can tell us about the specific activities and goals that will be supported by the A.P.E Fund. Describe your planned project and your anticipated outcomes and impact. Summarize your activities and let us know how many people will be impacted or reached by your work. We also need to know your timeline to make sure that most project activities will be completed by the end of May 2025. How will you measure the positive impact of your project? If you don't know yet, put some ways that you think are feasible, and JGIC staff and your community of practice will help you during the project period. Indicators are how you can communicate the success of your project and need to be measurable and realistic. List some indicators you might use for your project. The more specific you are, the easier it is for the evaluation committee to see your vision. Next, we need an estimated number of youth who will participate in the project activities, as well as how many people in the community will also benefit indirectly through engagement with project themes, outcomes, or other means. Use your best guess at this point, and during final reporting, you can let us know the actual numbers. We also ask that you upload one piece of media that represents your project. This could be a photo from a previous year, any planning that you've already done, or just an audio clip of you talking about the project. These will never be shared externally and are only used for the evaluation committee to get a better understanding of your project. We'd like to know a bit more about the youth participating in your project. You need to confirm that this project is youth-led, which means that it's a project mostly developed, planned, initiated, and implemented by young people under the age of 30. Use other if your project involves intergenerational allies and youth in equal measure. What ages are the youth participating? And another new question for this year is, where does your project fall under the I4DM, which is a matrix generously shared by the Circle on Philanthropy? Use the link provided to walk through the matrix and the guiding questions to determine your answer to this question. If your project specifically benefits an underrepresented community, please select which ones. Let us know if this project will take place in an urban, rural, or remote community. A.P.E Fund can support your project up to $1,000 Canadian, but we need to know how the money will be spent. Please fill in the budget and provide as much information as you're comfortable so our evaluation committee can see how the funds will support your project. Use whole numbers only with no dollar signs. Lastly, are there other organizations providing any in-kind donations or funding for this project? Especially if your project is part of a larger community project, we'd like to know other sources of funding or if there are pledged in-kind donations, which means goods and services offered for free or lower than retail cost. If you do not have other sources of funding or in-kind contributions, please put NA. This is a new section for this year. To make sure that the money gets to you as soon as possible, we're requesting that all applicants provide their payment details for this A.P.E Fund or any future funding opportunities from the Jane Goodall Institute of Canada. This information will be securely stored in our system and only used for the purposes of distributing project funding to you. This is not mandatory, but it will significantly reduce the time it takes between approval and dispersing the funds to you. We're going to walk through what's needed, but if you aren't able to share, click the second option and it will take you to the last page of the application. We can only send funds to an organizational account and cannot provide money to an individual. If you cannot accept funds into an organizational account, we'll ask a few more clarifying questions about who can support you. If you're not sure, click the back button and choose the second option on the previous page. If you cannot accept funds into your organizational bank account, please let us know if you're actively in a partnership with an organization that can accept them on your behalf. This could be a school district, your university, a First Nations government, or a local charitable organization. If you don't have a partner organization already, click No and send an email to our team so we can support you in connecting with one. If you can receive funds into your organizational bank account, you can choose either an EFT, which is an electronic fund transfer, a direct deposit, and is not the same as an Interact e-transfer, or a bank draft. A bank draft is a physical check that needs to be deposited at a bank and takes an additional 2 to 3 weeks for processing and mailing time. If you cannot accept funds via an EFT, be aware that a fee will be levied if a bank draft is lost or need to be reissued. EFT is the safest and easiest way for the funds to reach you. If you need a bank draft, we require the account name, usually the school or organization's full legal name, the address the draft should be mailed to, and who is receiving it. For an EFT, this information will need to match the information on a void check or the bank confirmation letter and should be for the receiving organization, which, if not yours, should be the partner organization. The beneficiary name needs to be registered with a bank. Your account number is between 8 to 12 digits, and if it starts with leading zeros, please include those. The transit number is 5 digits. Also include the leading zeros if necessary. The institution number is 3 digits. Next, upload a letter from the bank confirming your account information, which may be called a direct deposit information form or a void check. This section is all about reporting. Please read and check each box to confirm that you understand the reporting requirements of this grant. These next two are optional opportunities for you to help us improve A.P.E Fund for next year and a chance to win some sweet Jane Goodall merch. If you or the youth participants would be interested in participating in an after-project reporting with JGIC staff, please let us know. No worries if not, this won't impact your application evaluation at all. We're almost done. A final spot for you to ask our Roots and Shoots team any questions you may have or share additional information with the evaluation committee or our staff. Finally, select which famous chimp name best represents you, then click the Submit button. You should see this confirmation message once your application has been submitted, and you will also receive a copy of your application to the email address provided. If you can't find it, please check your spam folder or contact our team at the email or phone number provided. Thanks for your attention today. We can't wait to see what amazing projects come through this year. As Dr. Goodall says, you cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. So thank you for making a positive difference in your community for our shared environment.